the reason to kick Omar out so you've got 100% chance with Matilda, it just doesn't sit right with me. That's my opinion.
Why wouldn't I want that?
We're not going to agree on it, and that's fact, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I just want to get it across me so you know what I'm thinking.
If you are here, if you've been here for a long time, you know that if I stand someone, I stand someone. I remember saying I really liked Kieran because of his messy self, but I like him because he stands on business. The fact that he would not back down when people are trying to intimidate him into saying, oh, you can't be upset with Sean for making this choice that he did. And he said, well, you need to stand on business if you're going to make a decision like that, and you shouldn't be intimidated. It's the audacity for Joey and Sean to feel so intimidated by Omar that they have to want him out of the villa. I don't get that. I don't get why they tag teamed him. The good thing is Omar has a lot of things to talk about on podcasts and YouTube channel and whatever when he leaves the villa, but at the end of the day, it was a bad look for the two of them. But anyway, I digress. Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 18. I don't know which is worse, the level of insecurity it's just the level of insecurity in all the islanders, or the majority of them, as far as I'm concerned. Because you have, Tiffany talking to the girls about, oh, I'm not really feeling it with Ronnie. I'm not feeling it. I called this. I said Ronnie and Tiffany are not going to work. Ronnie's going to go back to Harriet. And now I'm vindicated because I think she got the ick the moment. I remember saying it. She got the ick the minute Ronnie stood up to go and confront Harriet about her saying he's acting, and she never got over that. And so am I surprised that she broke things off with him? No. The fact that he couldn't see that she wasn't feeling it, I don't get it. She was always grinning, and her grin was more of her being uncomfortable than her enjoying her time. And so the fact that she's broken up is not new, and it's not shocking to me. It might shock other people. To me, I'm not surprised. I saw that coming a mile away. And then you have Joey Essex and Grace having a conversation. Joey's is very insecure and is very intimidated. And instead of him saying, I'm insecure and I'm intimidated, he has decided to step up to Omar. I don't know what makes him think that that's the best thing to do. I don't get it, because if he was man enough, if he was satisfying Grace and she is saying to him she's happy in their couple, there's no need for him to confront Omar. There's no need at all, unless he's just looking for drama. It's good for Omar because when Omar leaves the villa, this is things he can talk about. This gives him clout when he leaves the villa. It will give him opportunities, and he can milk that until kingdom come, just like Samantha is milking her relationship with Joey. But it's very insecure of him to think he can approach another man and sort of challenge him that, what did you say? At the end of the day, your girl didn't tell you what he said. Why didn't she tell you? If she really was that offended, why didn't she tell you? And these little boys are very insecure, because you even have Sean sort of talking about, oh, I'm not intimidated by Omar. And it's like, what is it about Omar that scares the two of you? Apart from the obvious, what is it? What is it that makes you think that if you're talking to a girl, you have to bring Omar down in order for you to shine? What is it? Make it make sense, because it's not. It's your insecurity that you're now trying to project onto Omar. And because Omar is not insecure and he's able to back himself, this is why these boys are sort of running around, sort of trying to make themselves known, or trying to make themselves look good in front of the ladies, which doesn't make sense. And also with Nicole, I said this before, I'll say this again. If she doesn't want to date someone who's younger than her, she needs to leave Kieran alone. She needs to leave Kieran alone. This is not the first time she's called him immature. This is not the second time she's called him immature. She needs to keep it moving. I hope when Casa comes, he moves on to somebody else, because he cannot continue to date someone who continues to criticize him because of his age when he is one of the most mature guys in the villa. The fact that they were playing a game and he continued to play the game when she walked up, and people told her that they were playing a game, only for her to run to the girls and say, oh, he's very immature, he's very childish. Well, what are you doing with him then if he's immature and childish? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He will find someone who will appreciate the man that he is. He'll find someone who will appreciate the man that he is, and he'll be okay. So please keep it moving. We're not here for that. The islanders get ready for bed. I love during the confrontation between Joey and Omar, the fact that you had Connor in there just standing and just watching and pretending to be doing things, I think he was waiting to step in, but I loved that. I was like, he's on ready. I hope if things go down, he backs Omar because Joey needs to be humbled a bit. How dare him? It's the audacity for me. So the islanders go to sleep with Kieran sleeping outside, which does not make sense to me. But hey, it is what it is. In the morning, they have debriefs, but they only show very minimal amount. They're not showing every single thing, which I love. So you have this conversation about, you have Nicole still complaining that, oh, he's very childish. Why did he come in and went into bed with Jess? Why didn't? And it's like, well, you're upset with him. Where did you expect him to go? Where did you expect him to go? Make it make sense. Jess is one of your closest friends, and maybe that's why he went into that bed. And besides, he didn't lie next to Jess, he laid next to Omar. So what is your problem? For you to continue to say he's childish, please keep it moving. Go and look for someone your age. Ronnie is there. Go and join the gang that's lining up behind Ronnie and leave this man alone, because he will find someone who appreciates him for the man that he is, and you need to stop. And then you have Sean and Joey sort of having this conversation about Omar, and it's like, you are the little immature boys that Nicole should be talking about. The fact that you're so intimidated by Omar that you have to form a gang to sort of come up against him doesn't make sense to me. He hasn't chased your girl. He's flirted with her, which might be wrong, but he hasn't said he wants to pursue her in a romantic sense. So why you're up in arms, I still don't get. Why your little boy ego is bruised, I still don't get. If you like her, if you're satisfying her, there's no need to approach Omar. Leave Omar alone. Let him do his thing, you do your thing, and the two of you will meet in the middle. There's no point in having all these confrontational situations and this back and forth and stuff. That's not necessary. That really is not necessary. You have, well, Kieran spoke to the guys and he was sort of just telling them that I came here to look for a relationship, and that relationship is not working because she's hung up on things that I might have said or done, and I don't know what to do. And it's like, Kieran, you do you. If she likes you, she'll like you. If she doesn't, keep it moving. You will find someone. I guess I can bet you anything. The girls coming in Casa are forming a cube, one behind the other, wanting to pursue you. So the moment you open that door and you say you're open, don't worry. You will get someone come after you. Don't continue to pursue something that's not working. You have, Harriet having a conversation with Matilda. And Matilda, I don't get her. She's supposed to be friends with Ronnie, but the fact that she's always happy to sit there and have conversations with the girls that are sort of painting Ronnie in a bad light, I still don't understand. Yeah, Harriet is right to say now that Tiffany has broken up with Ronnie, there's now going to be tension again between Jess and Harriet, because they're both going to think they stand a shot, or they have a shot with Ronnie, and Ronnie on his part is saying that he's now single, he's back in these streets. And so it's going to be difficult to see what happens with those girls, to see who actually wins Ronnie back. And I still maintain it's Harriet, and Harriet is now about to face Jess's wrath because she's not going to be happy that he's gone back to her instead of coming to Jess. I don't know. And then Omar and Joey had this conversation. That was long overdue. And I love Omar. Omar, his London side comes out when he's pissed, because we saw it when he was having that conversation with Sean. And same with Joey. He stands on business. And I love that he said, I'm not interested in your girl. I didn't like the fact that you said that, there's no competition. I never said I was competing with you. So where you got that from, I still don't know, and I don't understand. If I said something, why didn't you tell me what I said? And it's because he's got nothing to bring up, because the girl wouldn't tell him what Omar said. So she is enjoying the attention she's getting from Omar. I think Joey's ego is bruised because, Grace has made it known that had he not been in the villa, she would have gone after Omar. And so the fact that Omar is getting attention not only from Grace, but is also getting attention from Matilda is the problem. That is the problem Joey has. If Omar was not getting attention from the girls, Joey would not have a problem with Omar. His only problem is the fact that Omar is getting attention, and he doesn't know how to bring that up to Omar. So he's going to sit there and pretend like, he's dumb, and pretend like he doesn't know or understand anything, but he actually knows the truth. It's giving insecurity, and it's giving intimidated, and it's giving, I don't know what other word I can use. Because you have, Maya Jama arrives and she gathers the islanders around the fire pit. She then tells them that the public have been voting for their favorite couples, and so they reveal the favorite couple. They start off with Ayo and Mimi. They're good. Then you have Kieran and Nicole. They're good. And also, surprisingly, Sean and Harriet are saved, which means everybody else is vulnerable, bar Matilda and Connor. So the safe islanders have to pick who goes home. It's not a couple, but it can be individuals. And it's like the producers have their favorite people that are in couples that are vulnerable that they don't want to send home. There's no way they wanted Ronnie sent home. There's no way they wanted Jess sent home, because if they'd said couples and if Tiffany was going home, that would mean Ronnie would go home. If they said Omar was going home, then that would mean Jess would go home. So they didn't want either one of those two people to go home, in my opinion. And you could tell people were feeling some type of way because there was the discussion. And you have, as far as I'm concerned, I think at the end of the day, Harriet and Sean got their wishes. That's all I'm going to say, because their competition was eliminated from the show and they were able to pursue the people they wanted to pursue without competition. And I give it to Kieran to say, we cannot make a decision for Matilda and say, let's send Omar home. That way life is easier for Sean, because Sean says, I want Omar gone so that I don't have any competition. And it's like, what makes you think she's going to pursue anything with you? What if she chooses to pursue something with somebody else? Or what if she keeps you until Casa and then she moves on? Make it make sense. And I don't get how two people were able to manipulate the other four people into getting what they wanted, because when they came back to the fire pit, you could tell Ayo wasn't happy, Mimi wasn't happy, Kieran wasn't happy, Nicole, they were not happy. And I think they were told, if you want to save your people, then we have to send these two people home. And sadly, they lost whether the producers told them that this is what they had to go with. Because as soon as they sat down, I think Omar looked at Ayo and Mimi's faces and knew he was going home, because you could see the look of defeat on his face. And so for them to say, oh, we love you with this, no, say it with your full chest. Be true to yourself. If you're going to send me home, tell me I sent you home because you were my competition and I couldn't hack it. I said this before and I'll say it again. Sean was not able to compete with Omar because Omar had the riz, Omar has the swag, and Sean was having to compete by sort of trying to pull down Omar so that he could look, like he was the man, and yet he wasn't. So the idea that he got his wish to send Omar home, I'm very disappointed. I wish they'd gone with public vote. At least if Omar had gone home on public vote, I would say yes. You could see the look of disappointment on Matilda's face. I don't think she was happy. Even when she stood by the door watching Omar leave, you could see she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy, and I think she knew what had taken place because Harriet is the one they got to announce who was going home. And so I think she knew that as Sean had managed to persuade everybody else to vote the way he wanted to vote so that they could take his competition out. And I hope she turns around and tells him that, nah, we're good, I'm not feeling you, and leaves him vulnerable. And I hope he's the next one on the plane out of Spain. So you have Omar and Tiffany be dumped out of the villa. It was really sad. You could see that Kieran was upset because he was right at the front of the doorway. He was the last person to be said goodbye to. You could see it on his face that he is not on board with this nonsense. He is not buying it. He's not feeling it, and he feels some type of way about it. And so for Omar, this is good for Omar, in my opinion. Had Omar left any other way, he wouldn't have any clout. At the end of the day, he's got a lot of clout because he can talk about his connection with Matilda and what happened with Sean. And he can also talk about Grace and what happened with Joey. So that's good for him. He will get airtime. So I'm happy for him. I'm pleased. Tiffany, not so much, because she really didn't do anything outside of break up with Joey. Tiffany didn't do much outside of break up with Ronnie. Nothing else there to talk about. So the islanders then get ready for the night. Obviously, people are feeling some type of way. You have Harriet have a conversation with Matilda, and Matilda is saying, oh, it was 50-50, but she had more feelings for Sean than she did for Omar. And it's like, make it make sense. Just tell your truth. Don't say something because it's convenient, because now everybody else is gone and there's no other option for you. Sean is your only other option. I don't get why she's even entertaining Sean. She wasn't feeling him like that. It's not like they had any substantial conversations. All their conversations were about Sean complaining about Omar. So make it make sense. The islanders get ready, and as they're getting ready, you have Kieran still telling the truth that I'm not on board with this decision that we made to send Omar home. I didn't like it. I think if you like someone, pursue someone. Don't eliminate someone just because you don't want the competition. Back yourself and go after what you want. And Sean, well, I backed myself. I chose myself. And it's like, please keep quiet. And for Joey to say, oh no, this is not Friendship Island. Joey's happy that Omar's gone home, because that's a problem that's been taken out of his way. He knew Grace really liked Omar. And so had he made any silly mistakes, there was a possible chance that, Grace could easily bounce back to Omar because she had already had connections with him. And so the idea that suddenly he is saying, well, this is not Friendship Island, please keep quiet. You could have easily been sent home because you found the love of your life. The two of you can go home and love each other at home. You don't need to stay in the villa in order to love one another. The islanders get their drinks, and Matilda did the toast, and she said, goodbye to Omar and Tiffany, blah, blah, blah. And I am not buying what she's saying. The guys sat down, had a conversation. So you had the 3 islanders that were safe that voted. And Kieran is listening, as you can see the look on his face, that he's listening to whatever Sean is saying, and it's going in through one ear and coming out the other, because he's not buying that crap. And he still stood on business and told him that I feel some type of way about us sending Omar home. Omar didn't deserve to go home so that you would feel good. That's more or less what happened, because they sent Omar home so that Sean could feel good about himself. That's all they did. It's not because Sean was the better guy. And for Kieran to say, at the end of the day, we cannot make a decision for Matilda. Matilda can make a decision for Matilda. We can't say to her, you should pick Sean, or we're sending this person home so that it's easier for you to pick. No, she should have had the right to pick. I feel like the producers should have allowed Matilda to pick who she wanted before they sent whoever they sent home. But they didn't want to do that because they knew that their favorites were vulnerable. So they decided to sort of let the islanders send the people that they were not bothered about sending home, which is not a good look. You had, Matilda and Sean sit down and he's saying, oh, I did what I had to do. The guys are upset with me. And she said, why are you upset? And he said, well, I told them that, I sent Omar home because I wanted to win. And it's like, well, that's not a good look. Yeah, it's you being honest, but still at the end of the day, it's not a good look. It shows her how weak your game is because you can't back yourself. So you'd rather sort of get rid of other people so that you look good. I don't know who told you that was a good idea. Sherlock Holmes, that's not. You need to go back to the drawing board. You then had, Jess speaking to the girls and sort of saying and being asked, so would you entertain anything with Ronnie? And she's, oh, well, yeah, we didn't really finish. It's unfinished business. So I would be open to us getting to know. And it's like, well, you might be open to getting back to Ronnie, but is he still interested in getting back with you? Make it make sense. And then suddenly Ronnie pulls Harriet for a chat. I said it, and I'll say it again. Harriet and Ronnie are stuck together. They're stuck together. They like each other's mess, and they will continue to entertain each other's mess until Kingdom Come. So the idea or the audacity of Jess to think that she's better than Harriet, we're about to have another World War III in this villa because of the fact that, Harriet is enjoying herself. Ronnie has said he doesn't want to know anyone. He doesn't want anything to do with Jess because he feels his connection with, Harriet was stronger. And so because of that, Jess is going to feel some type of way. She was saying, oh, he wants someone he can control. No, he never said that. He never said that. He and Harriet's connection was always stronger than yours. I said it before that he was always respectful and honest with her than he was with Jess. With Jess, she gave him an ultimatum and he ignored it. Whereas with Harriet, he was so upset by her calling him an actor that he had to break up with her. So make it make sense in your own head if you want, but that's the truth. And sadly, you have to deal with that. I don't know. I really don't know. Apparently, tomorrow, Sean, it seems, is going to get a kiss from Matilda. If Matilda entertains Sean, I think it's because she's got no other connection in the villa. And Sean has been saved by the public, so she wants to feel safe, and that's what she's going to do. You had this conversation between Joey and Grace, sort of saying, we should have been safe. I don't understand why we're not safe. Well, maybe the viewers are not feeling you. And maybe the viewers are still upset with you for how you treated Samantha. It has nothing to do with Omar. So for you to want to blame Omar for why you're vulnerable, please take several seats somewhere. We're not buying that crap. We're not here for it. And it is what it is. Anyway, Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 17. Bye guys.